Hej, siemano wam wszystkim ludzie, z tej strony Arturo, witam was na swoim kanale i kontynuujemy The Moment of Silence. Moi drodzy, udało nam się w końcu odwiedzić sklep i wypadła z niego torba. Torba pana Oswalda, z którego wyjęliśmy nóż, nitkę i kamerę.
That's the wire I took down from the strange totem of that guru. Where did I see this thread before? I was holding something in my hand that was made of it.
Okej, gdzieś już taką nitkę widzieliśmy.
A knife. Darn sharp. Why was Mr. Oswald carrying a knife? He was probably quite afraid.
Nie mam zielonego pojęcia, dlaczego nosił ostry nóż, być może dla samoobrony. Aczkolwiek, moi drodzy, udało nam się zdobyć kamerę. Udało nam się też zdobyć rzeczy osobiste pana Oswalda. Dlatego wydaje mi się, że cofnę się z powrotem na Brooklyn. I tak, w pierwszej kolejności odwiedzę panną Debbie. Porozmawiam z nią na ten temat, który udało mi się tutaj odkryć. A następnie udam się do Nuclear Cafe i porozmawiam z Cypherem. Może będzie wiedział coś więcej na temat tej kamery. Przypominam, akcja gry rozgrywa się w przyszłości. Takie stare rzeczy jak kamera i pewnie jeszcze na kasety magnetofonowe, być może faktycznie Peter nie ma zielonego pojęcia, co to jest i do czego to może służyć. I wybaczcie, że wczoraj nie było odcinka na kanale, ale miałem taki zapierdziel w pracy, że po prostu padłem, kiedy wróciłem do domu. Miałem 10 tirów do ogarnięcia i to, wiecie, nie takich, które się ładuje czy rozładowuje w 5 czy 15 minut, ale trzeba naprawdę poświęcić sporo czasu na ich ogarnięcie. No i kiedy wróciłem do domu, też miałem sąsiadów pod opieką, bo ich mama trafiła do szpitala na jakąś tam operację czy coś i miały być same w domu. Tu żeby same nie siedziały, bo jest to 9 i 11-letnia dziewczynka, znaczy 9-letni chłopiec i 11-letnia dziewczynka, żeby nie siedzieli sami w domu. Wziąłem ich po prostu do siebie. Przy okazji, wiecie co, jestem tutaj, zobaczę do Boba, czy będą jakieś nowe opcje dialogowe. No bo w końcu udało nam się zdobyć te rzeczy, może będzie miał pojęcie, do czego to może posłużyć.
Hey, Peter. How's it going today? Man, do you look tired. Didn't you sleep too good?
On the plane.
Oh, you were traveling. Pretty short trip, huh?
Pretty exhausting. I was in Puerto Rico.
Oh my God. So what did you want there?
I made a trip to the SETI Institute.
Has the alien craze infected you now too?
Maybe.
Should we be worried?
That's something I'm asking myself.
Czyli nie ma jednak nowych opcji dialogowych, okej. Wejdźmy zatem do naszego apartamentowca. Budynek mieszkalny. Przy okazji będę mógł zajrzeć do naszego pokoju i zobaczyć, czy na czasie widnieją jakieś nowe wiadomości. Ale nie, to mnie cały czas dobija, nie? Budynek, który ma 40 pięter i wspólny kibel na klatce schodowej. Tak mi się przynajmniej wydaje, że jest to wspólny kibel. Aczkolwiek my chyba mamy łazienkę też jeszcze w domu. Ale wiecie, łazienka to może być prysznic, zlew i tak dalej. A inne rzeczy, bardziej takie osobiste, wychodzą robić na klatkę schodową.
Hello, Mrs. Oswald.
Dobra.
Hi, Peter. You were gone for quite a while. Got any news?
You could say that.
Czy pani mąż nagrywał filmy na taśmie magnetycznej w wolnych chwilach?
Let me ask you this, Debbie. Was your husband shooting magnetic tape videos in his spare time?
What? Not that I know of. Anyway, what is a magnetic tape video?
It's an outdated way of recording films, invented during the 20th century. Analog technique. It works with magnetic tapes. Back then, this technique was very popular and widely spread. I'm sure you've already seen one of those so-called VCRs at a garage sale.
Oh, those boxes that look like game consoles?
Something like that, yeah. Anyway, your husband owned such a video cam which is used for recording films on these magnetic videotapes. Did you know that?
He never told me anything about it, and I haven't seen the camera before either.
I found the video camera in a bag which your husband forgot at the SETI. Or maybe he left the bag there on purpose, I don't know. There were also some other things in this bag. Why did he need this completely outdated video equipment for?
I really have no idea. Graham's always been into the strangest things. Maybe it has something to do with his article. Maybe he did something about the history of technology.
A może znalazł jakąś kasetę magnetyczną? No, ogólnie ja bym powiedział magnetowidową, ale mniejsza z tym, w której są zawarte jakieś informacje związane z Setai. Są to informacje sprzed iluś tam 10 lat. Nie wiem, tak obstawiam. Pamięta pani, kiedy mąż był po raz ostatni na lotnisku?
Do you recall the last time your husband was at the airport?
At the airport. Let's see now. Well, he was actually always at the airport. As far as I know, he also had a safe deposit box there.
A safe deposit box. Do you have the key?
I guess Graham has it.
Maybe he left it here at home.
I don't know. What does a key like that look like?
Do you mind if I just look around a little bit? Maybe I'll find the key.
Sure. Go ahead.
Kluczyk do depozytu jakiegoś. Mam tu coś, co chciałbym pani pokazać.
Here's something I wanted to show you.
Znalazłem te nici w torbie.
This thread was in that bag I found as well. What could your husband possibly want with thread?
Oh, that's the thread I always used to fix Tommy's teddy bear.
Tommy's teddy?
Yeah. I don't know why he had it with him.
I think there's more to this teddy than meets the eye.
To już wiem, po co mi nóż w ekwipunku. Będziemy rozkrajać misia.
There is something else.
Czyli tak, brak nowych opcji dialogowych na tą chwilę.
I think I'll get in touch.
Thanks, Mr. Wright.
Dobra, chcę się rozejrzeć i zobaczyć, czy znajdę... O, tu jest jakiś klucz. Być może to jest ten kluczyk do depozytu.
This looks like a locker key, but which locker does it belong to?
No właśnie. Czy do jakiejś skrytki, która znajduje się tutaj w domu, czy do tej na lotnisku? No bo z komputera w dalszym ciągu skorzystać nie mogę. Ale to jest dziwne, nie? Nie wie, czym jest magnetowid, nie wie, czym są kasety magnetofonowe, a mimo tego korzystają z płyt CD.
Tommy? Hi. Everything all right?
Have you found my dad?
No. No, not yet. Unfortunately. Listen, Tommy, can I borrow your teddy real quick?
Why?
I just would like to check something. You'll get him back. It could be very important.
Okay.
I rozkleimy misia i oddamy mu takiego rozprutego. No nieładnie, nieładnie. Ale wiecie co, teraz sobie tak myślę, bo gierka jest z 2004 roku. W 2004 roku kasety magnetofonowe, czy tam magnetowidowe, już tak naprawdę odchodziły do lamusa. A płyty CD czy DVD zyskiwały na popularności, więc może dlatego one się tutaj znajdują, bo twórcy nie przewidzieli, że to też za jakiś czas pójdzie do lamusa i będą nośniki danych typu pendrive'y i wszystko będzie w chmurze. Zobaczmy, co kryje misiu.
Look at that. There's an old magnet tape inside the teddy. A videotape. Probably belongs to that camera I found.
No proszę bardzo. Mamy kasetę. Chciałem mu oddać misia, nie mogę. Ale kasety też nie mogę włożyć do kamery. Być może będę potrzebował jakiegoś magnetowidu. Ale obstawiam, że takowego w tym mieszkaniu nie ma, biorąc pod uwagę fakt, że Debbie nawet nie wiedziała, co to jest. Chciałem oddać misia Tomiemu, ale nie mogę. Dobra, plan jest taki, jak mówiłem. Pójdę do swojego mieszkania, zajrzę na komputer, sprawdzę, czy są jakieś nowe wiadomości od naszej przyjaciółki. No i co? I pójdziemy do Cyfera.
Peter, hi. I had a great day. How was yours?
I was gone. Traveling.
Great. Where were you?
In Arecibo. At the SETI Institute.
Ah, so, what did you do there?
I just wanted to check it out. It's very interesting.
Anything interesting?
Well, actually, there are quite a lot of interesting things.
How did you come to think of that? Did someone recommend it to you?
You didn't even ask me if I enjoyed myself.
Oh, of course. Sorry, I'm always so curious, can ask so many questions, and I always forget to ask the most important ones. So, did you have fun? Was the weather fine? Did you see a few aliens?
Yeah. Lots of aliens, actually. But inflatable ones.
I have heard that, yes. I'm glad you had a good time and didn't have to think about the incident with your neighbor.
Well, I'm thinking about even more now. I gotta get going. See you later.
Czyli nic nowego, ale wiecie co? Tak sobie patrzę na ten komputer i na jej awatar i dochodzę do wniosków, że żyjemy w naprawdę złych czasach. Teraz można podrobić każdy awatar, w sensie każdą podobiznę człowieka, z każdego człowieka można zrobić awatar, podłożyć jego głos. To nie jest fajne, na dłuższą skalę to nie jest fajne, bo mogą nami tak manipulować, już nie chodzi o zwykłych użytkowników, ale na przykład politycy. To doprowadzi do jakiejś wojny. Naprawdę. Czasami żałuję, że żyję w tych czasach. Wolałem te swoje takie beztroskie dzieciństwo, gdzie nie było komputera. Znaczy ja miałem komputer, ale nie miałem internetu. I tak więcej czasu wolałem spędzać na dworze ze znajomymi niż siedzieć przy tej skrzyni, patrzeć się w ten głupi monitor, korzystać z telefonu. Kiedyś nie było telefonów. Nikt nie wiedział, gdzie tak naprawdę się znajduje. No i co? I się żyło. Chodziło się do znajomych, umawiało się, dzwoniło domofonem, czy ktoś wyjdzie na dwór. A teraz zadzwonisz do kogoś, czy wyjdzie, to ten nie, ten nie. Nie chodzi o to, że mają swoje rodziny i tak dalej, i tak dalej. Tylko po prostu nie chce się im tyłka ruszać. Ja rozumiem, też wiek, w którym, w sensie mój wiek, tam nie wiem, 36 lat, niektórzy młodsi, niektórzy starsi, też mogą nie mieć już tyle sił co kiedyś. No ale bez przesady, od czasu do czasu można by było gdzieś wyjść. Dlaczego przyszedłem do swojej pracy? Z tego względu, że chcę zobaczyć, czy będą jakieś nowe opcje dialogowe. Teoretycznie mamy kasetę. Moglibyśmy się na przykład spytać Billa, czy wie coś na ten temat. W końcu to on jest taką złotą rączką. Możemy też porozmawiać z naszym starym kumplem, który gdzieś tutaj siedzi.
Hi, Brian. It's me again.
Hey Peter, how's it going?
A gdzie jest pan Greenberg? Jak wam się pracowało? Możemy teraz porozmawiać? To prywatna sprawa.
Can I talk? Let's take a walk.
Okay, you go on ahead. I'll be right there.
Dobra, zobaczymy, czy w kuchni będą jakieś nowe opcje dialogowe.
Okay, go ahead.
Co słychać u Jenny? Poznałem kogoś w globalnecie, ble ble ble. Oki, wielkie dzięki.
Oh, I think we...
Yeah.
All right then.
Czyli jeżeli chodzi o Briana, nie ma nowych opcji dialogowych. Obstawiam, że pan Greenberg jeszcze nie wrócił. Zobaczymy, co u Boba słychać. W sensie Billa.
Hey Peter.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, czy bezpośrednio będę mógł na nim użyć jakichś elementów? Mogę, ale nic się nie dzieje. Dobra. Ta kamera jest tutaj naprawdę mało intuicyjna. Troszeczkę mnie denerwuje.
So, Bill, how does it look like?
All clear so far. You back already? I thought you had some time off.
Yeah, well, I still have to finish something up.
Znalazłem coś w rodzaju taśmy magnetycznej.
I found some sort of magnetic tape. Do you think you could possibly read this thing?
A magnetic tape? What do you mean? A cassette of some sort?
I would guess so. I don't know the exact name or model number for it.
Jesus! That's a damn VHS tape. No one's used that format since 2010. A real antique. Where did you get it?
That's not important. I'd just like to take a look at it. How would I get a hold of a VCR? Where do they still have them? Any idea?
A video recorder? Man, that won't be easy. If I were you, I'd try the Media Museum.
Or on the scrapyard.
Hold on. The best place to look would actually be Greenwich Village. There are still a few antique dealers who deal in these old things.
That sounds like a plan. Maybe you even have an address for me?
I've heard of a guy called Huntington who's got a shop there. He seems to be a bit weird.
What do you mean, a bit weird?
Well, It's just that I read something about him in the Electronic Observer. He's paranoid, believes in conspiracy theories, and he won't cooperate at all with the authorities. He won't allow his shop to be linked up electronically and refuses to go global net standard bookkeeping. A really stubborn old man.
Yeah, well, a certain stubbornness that comes with age. Heard that happen sometimes. And he got away with that?
Well, anyway, he made enough of a fuss to get into the Electronic Observer. There was a photo of him standing in his shop. The most unbelievable collection of old junk that you have ever seen. Perhaps he still has his shop.
Huntington, Greenwich Village, right. It actually sounds kind of promising. Thanks, Bill.
Okej, czyli mamy adres do antykwariatu.
Okay, I gotta go now.
Right. Okay then.
Dajcie mi znać w komentarzu, czy macie jeszcze jakieś magnetowidy czy odtwarzacze w domu. Ja szczerze powiedziawszy to miałem jeden na strychu, ale z tego co wiem to mój ojciec dał mojemu bratu. A kasety VHS? Mam ich mnóstwo w domu. A dokładnie mam całą kolekcję Dragon Balla, który nagrywałem kiedyś jeszcze z RTL 7, jak było w telewizji. Wszystkie odcinki nagrywałem, wszystkie odcinki na kasetach. Począwszy od pierwszej serii Dragon Ball, poprzez Dragon Ball Z, kończąc na Dragon Ball GT. Nie wiem ile mam tych kaset, z 30 jak nic, ale naprawdę sporo. Tylko co z tego, że i tak nie mam gdzie tego odtworzyć. Nawet już nie wiem, czy bym taki zwykły odtwarzacz podłączył pod taki telewizor cyfrowy. Nie ma tutaj eurozłącza i tak dalej, i tak dalej. Ale czy jest to konieczne, skoro teraz wszystkie odcinki Dragon Balla można obejrzeć tak naprawdę na necie? Ale jako taką pamiątkę te kasety sobie zostawiłem. Nawet mam jedną kasetę, która nie jest w ogóle rozpakowana. Jest fabrycznie nowo zafoliowana. Może kiedyś będzie to coś warte. Albo oddam do jakiegoś muzeum technicznego. Ja mam jeszcze w domu nawet całe opakowanie dyskietek zafoliowane. Też może kiedyś to będzie coś warte. Takich rzeczy się nigdzie nie oddaje i nie sprzedaje. Kiedyś faktycznie może mieć to wartość kolekcjonerską. A najstarsza rzecz, jaką mam w domu, w sensie na strychu, to jest chyba patefon z 1930 któregoś roku. Taki wiecie, jeszcze nakręcany na korbę.
Hello.
What's up, man?
Mam do ciebie kilka pytań.
I have
W sumie to ten gościu tak naprawdę do niczego mi nie jest potrzebny.
I have to go.
Sprawdzam, czy mogę z nim porozmawiać, ale to Cypher jest tutaj kluczowym osobnikiem.
It's me again.
Just look at that, our subversive colleague. Well, partner, what dastardly deeds can I congratulate you on?
Byłem w Setai.
I was at the SETI, and I snooped around a little bit.
And did you find out what your secretive friend wanted there?
Nie wiem, co mam o tym myśleć.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what I should think about this. I found a bag that belonged to him. He was carrying very strange things around.
I see. Such as?
A totally outdated video cam and some kind of data carrier.
A video cassette?
Could be.
Well, have fun with that. You'll have to get a video player first. Those are magnetic tapes, man. Totally pre-deluge. Nobody's got those anymore.
Where could I get something like that?
Oh, no idea. Maybe in the trash or at a flea market? We've probably still got an adapter, but not a player, no way.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
Tam na warsztacie leżą przewody.
That cable over there on the workbench. Can I have it?
Have? What do you mean? For free?
You really need to take money for everything? You don't even use this wire anyway.
Okay. But listen, you gotta give me something for it.
What do you mean, something? For example?
Something that I would like. A small gift of recognition. A bonus.
All right, I'll think of something.
Co ja takiego mógłbym mu dać?
There is? Okay.
See you later.
Misia Tomiego? Niekoniecznie, ale spróbuję. O nie, Tomi by się zapłakał. Ta torba mi już nie jest potrzebna. Chcesz? Kluczyk? Nie? Figurkę kosmity? Też nie chcę. No dobra. Będziemy musieli coś wykombinować. To będę mógł w końcu wziąć te przewody teraz, czy nie?
First, I should talk to Cypher. These are technical magazines on how to build processors. Only total computer freaks actually read this kind of stuff.
Dobra, plan jest taki, żebyśmy udali się do tego antykwariatu. No i zobaczyli, czy zdobędziemy tam magnetowid. Kurde, fajny odcinek, taki nostalgiczny bardzo. I osoba, która mi powie, że kiedyś nie żyło się lepiej, to nie zna życia tak naprawdę. Ja się trochę boję tych czasów takich, wiecie, 2044. Ile ja wtedy będę miał lat? O cholera, już będę stary dziadek. Ale jak młodzież się będzie zachowywała? Strach pomyśleć. Przyjdą do mnie takie prawnuki, prawnuczki. Nie, no dobra, nie przyjdą, bo nie mam dzieci. Ale tak czy wiecie, jacyś nowi młodzi sąsiedzi i się zapytają, co to magnetowid, panie? Co to kamera?
All right, here we are. Greenwich. The store of this Mr. Huntington has to be somewhere around here.
Obstawiam, że... A być może tutaj. Sklep z antykami. Mamy... otwarte. Okej.
Rather dark in here. Where's the owner?
Skrzynka pocztowa.
Locked.
Zamknięte. Ja bym chciał wejść do środka. To jest budynek mieszkalny.
A bunch of old stuff. Even though it's charming, it's also pretty expensive. It's unlocked. Fine, but voila, an antique shop. And as it looks...
Sklep z antykami, ale... jest zamknięte. Duszę na klamkę i się nic nie dzieje. Dziura w drzwiach. Okej.
There's a sign on the floor. Looks as if it fell off.
Dobra. Ale widzę, że to jest metalowe. Być może... magnesem w jakiś sposób uda mi się to przyciągnąć. Co ja w ogóle mam w ekwipunku? Mam... druta, mam nitkę.
A nice little fishing rod. Almost done.
Okej.
Great idea, but I think I have to try this in a different order. Good idea. Good idea. A piece of thread from Mr. Oswald's bag.
Może coś jeszcze będę potrzebował. Aha. Mam wędkę. Prowizoryczną, ale mam.
Through the window? Not possible.
Przez okno tego nie wyłowię. Klamka. Aha, okej, chyba tędy. A po drugiej stronie jest napisane Open.
Let's see what's written on it. There, a messenger number. That will help me out.
Mam numer telefonu, dobra. Mam nadzieję, że automatycznie zapisał się w moim komunikatorze.
Huntington Antiques?
Ah, good afternoon, Mr. Huntington. Are you open for business?
Of course.
But the door is closed. Would you mind to open the door for me?
What do you want exactly?
Well, take a look around. Maybe buy something. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Well, I'll open up for you.
Chyba ten pan nie lubi klientów.
Ah, there you are. Good afternoon. Great that it all worked out this time.
Come in, young man.
Thank you.
Trąbka, globus, fajne starocie, pajęczyna.
Now, son, what can I do for you?
As I mentioned, I would like to look around a bit. Really a great store that you have here.
Well, things have accumulated over the years.
I've never been in a shop like yours before. It's fascinating. Makes you feel like you want to move in immediately. Oh, by the way, I'm Peter. Petera Wrighta.
Nice to meet you, Peter. Please, make yourself at home.
Zechciałby pan powiedzieć mi coś na temat pańskiego sklepu?
Let me ask you, would you mind to tell me a little bit about your shop? Everywhere you look around here, it seems to breathe interesting stories.
If you like, please. I don't have much company here, and most young people aren't at all interested in old things. They just want consoles, telescreens, well, you know, whatever is trendy these days.
Yeah, of course. And I have to admit, I have a telescreen myself. I hope I can stay anyway.
Of course you can.
Skąd pan bierze te wszystkie rzeczy?
Where did you get all these things from?
Oh, well, from a lot of different places. I get things from house clearances, from other dealers, stuff people chuck out. Sometimes people come in with family heirlooms, and a few things are from my own family.
Some of them look pretty European.
Oh, yes, yes. I used to import a lot from Europe. The antiques market is, of course, a lot bigger there, and pieces are cheaper, too.
I bet it took forever to collect all these things.
I've spent my whole life doing it.
Ale zauważyliście, że przeważnie antykwariaty prowadzą starsi ludzie? Dlaczego trzyma pan tutaj gołębie?
Why do you keep pigeons in here?
Why do you ask that?
Just like that, because I was curious. I mean, it's actually not exactly common to keep pigeons in closed rooms, especially not in an antique shop.
Well, yes, you're probably right. Let's just say they're my hobby.
I would say it's really pretty unusual that someone keeps pigeons in his place of business. Wouldn't you say?
They're practical. And they're company.
Co takiego praktycznego jest w hodowli gołębi?
What could be practical about this?
They're carrier pigeons.
Carrier pigeons? Seriously? You really send your mail through pigeons? Are you serious?
Only that way.
That is absolutely unbelievable. My grandfather told me about his carrier pigeons, but that was 30 years ago.
Today they're worth more than ever.
But carrier pigeons are really slow, and I mean there are 1,000 other ways to communicate.
But no other way is as safe. Whatever I send by carrier pigeons cannot be read in any computer, and it will not go into any archive.
Oh, I understand. You're worried that someone could invade your privacy.
Don't you?
I'm not quite sure. I would like to think that the security standards are pretty high everywhere. You just have to watch out who you let get into your private stuff.
Security? For who?
For us. For you and me, for everybody. My neighbor can't snoop through my mailbox. It works as good as a real mailbox would.
So then, why must carrier pigeons be reported?
Carrier pigeons have to be reported?
Certainly. It's been like that for the last 15 years.
Well, please don't get me wrong, but you could use them to conduct illegal communication, and that's not in the interest of the communal safety.
So, my privacy threatens communal safety. Is that it?
Depending on the circumstances, yeah. Any offense wouldn't be a private matter, would it? There's always a compromise.
That sort of safety I can do without. And that sort of compromise too.
And that's not only your decision alone. That's why we have laws. And they serve us all.
Well, they don't serve me. I use pigeons.
To brzmi dla mnie nieco paranoicznie.
Don't get me wrong, Mr. Huntington, but bug-proofed carrier pigeons and so on. That sounds to me just a wee bit paranoid. Do you really feel persecuted?
Oh, you know, persecuted isn't a nice word. Let's just say I have my own views about the world.
But it must be pretty strenuous to permanently live with that kind of fear.
Oh, yes. Tell me, have you ever heard of the NSA, Peter?
Here and there, but they don't exist anymore. For almost 30 years now.
Do you know of the Echelon program dating back to 1990?
1900 when? No, sorry, I don't.
Well, you see, I know about it. And you can be sure that I've been watching very closely. Very closely.
Yeah, well, that is all very nice. After all, it's your life.
And yours.
Jest coś jeszcze.
There is something else.
Mogę o coś jeszcze zapytać?
Can I ask you something else?
Of course, just ask.
Czy sprzedawanie drukowanych książek nie jest zakazane?
Isn't it illegal to sell these printed books?
Maybe.
These books are not scanned, right?
I'm of the opinion that non-scanned books are just as interesting as scanned ones, if not even more interesting.
But this way, these books are not really available to everybody. That way you make information, once again, private property. It becomes luxury for privileged people only. The law about the electronic gathering of printed material is supposed to...
To democratize the written word. Is that what you mean?
But of course, that's how it actually is. Actually, you would have to turn these books into the Department of Communications so they can get scanned. Afterwards, you will actually get them back.
Nobody has ever gotten books back from the Department of Communications, and not even a tenth of the books have appeared online.
Yeah, well, that's because it will take some time until everything will be fed into the system. As time goes by, there are just more and more editions, so we have to have a little patience.
It's rather astounding how effective this propaganda still is. The law on electronic registration is a censorship measure, disguised as democratization of information, my son.
You're serious about this, aren't you?
Don't let yourself be deceived by the lies on the telescreens and the cheap slogans of the dumb yuppies and the communication agencies. Yes?
No, it's okay.
I'm keeping hold of my books in any case. You can read them anytime you want. Here and now.
Okej, mogę o coś jeszcze zapytać?
Can I ask you...
Of course, just ask.
Od jak dawna ma pan ten sklep?
How long have you had this shop?
I started in 2018 with a shop in the Lower East Side. Back then it was still a decent place, you know. In 2032 I had to move because the government had ordered the restructuring of the area.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Since then, the shop has been here. I've redesigned it to look exactly as it was on the Lower East Side.
Did you get a chance recently to take a look around the Lower East Side?
Oh yes, I was there a couple of years ago. Terrible. The whole area's fallen apart. The houses look like something out of Europe just after the Second World War. And the only people in the streets are criminals. It's a tragedy what they did to that part of the city.
Ma pan wielu klientów?
Do you have many customers? I would assume that especially here in Greenwich, you should have a potentially well-off clientele.
What makes you think that? I sell almost nothing. But that's not important. I have the things I love around me. What use would they be in the sterile apartment of some yuppie who has no sense for the soul of things?
Oh, I understand. But how do you manage to get by then? And besides, this shop is costing you money as well.
The house belongs to me. The government bureaucrats were kind enough to give it to me in exchange for my departure from the Lower East Side.
Can I ask you something else?
Of course, just ask.
Proszę opowiedzieć mi coś o sobie.
Please, tell me something about yourself.
Co pana tak zafascynowało w tych antykach?
What is it that fascinates you about antiques?
They have a history. They are history. They are the survivors. They can tell us about other times. The things here in this shop are not simply what they are. They aren't just objects that take up space in a room. They are what they represent, what they are linked to. Memories, feelings, thoughts. They are like an archive of what our lives were like.
Maybe sometimes we don't really want to know what the essence of our life once was. Sometimes it's better to forget certain things.
I think it's those things that we would rather forget that are really worth remembering.
But it could also break you, living only in the good old times.
And it can destroy you to live without any memories.
Mogę zapytać, ile pan ma lat?
May I ask you how old you are?
I'm 64. Year of birth 1980.
Czy to znaczy, że nie ma pan dzieci?
That means you don't have any children?
No, Anna couldn't have children.
Oh, but the cloning procedure was already known, wasn't it? Did you never consider
Well, yes, we spoke about it. But I didn't want technology to be the father of my child. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can understand quite well.
Do you have a cloned child?
No, I have a son who's not cloned. A natural child. My wife carried him for 9 months. Everything just the natural way.
That's nice. You must be proud of him.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely am.
Do you have a picture?
I don't have one with me. But he is really a very nice boy.
Yes, I'm sure that he is. A child always has a place in the heart of his parents.
You're absolutely right.
Jak świętował pan zjednoczenie?
How did you celebrate the Union?
Oh, it was a big, beautiful dream of freedom and prosperity. Unity and peace. We believed all of it. Everything. When President White announced the first union, people danced in the streets.
Well, it proved itself to be sturdy, didn't it?
You can say that. It has become overwhelmingly powerful.
Who would want to attack it anyway? Besides a few Luddites, maybe.
Nobody's dancing in the streets anymore.
People are content. They don't dance, but they don't complain either. What else do we want?
Yes. What more can we ask for?
I have another...
Sam pan prowadzi ten sklep?
Do you run this shop here alone?
Yes, unfortunately. My wife used to help me.
Oh, I assume she is... I'm very sorry about that. I didn't mean to...
She's not dead, if that's what you mean. She disappeared.
She disappeared?
Yes, 2031. During the raids against the Luddite riots.
Chce pan o tym porozmawiać?
You want to talk about it?
It's been a long time. A very long time.
You know, if you don't want to talk about it, that's...
I can still remember the exact date. It was May 31st, 2031. On that day, the NYPD had announced that the area was to be cleansed of technology criminals because of the bombing campaign of 2030. It was thought that the Luddites had an operations base in the Lower East Side. They didn't consider that a lot of normal residents in the Lower East Side wouldn't want to leave their houses too. In the early hours of the morning, young people had started to gather in the streets. The mood was getting more and more heated, and by midday, the young people had started building barricades in the streets.
Were you there as well?
Anna and I were in the shop. We closed and kept completely quiet so that nothing would happen to us. Old tires were burning in the street. The air was black with smoke. As the armored vehicles moved in, bottles and stones started flying. The police had 300 men there who shot knockout bullets straight into the crowds.
That sounds terrible.
Then, this little girl came to our door and knocked frantically. Anna answered the door and the girl took her by the hand. A man lay injured by the barricades, maybe her father. I stood by the door and called to Anna, told her she should come back. Anna ran to the man, he was still moving, and I saw that she was trying to help him.
And then what happened?
Then riot troops from the NYPD arrived. They pulled Anna away from the man and put a sack over her head. They dragged her to a van. I ran after her and got hit by a knockout bullet.
And then? She was gone? She disappeared just like that?
I never saw her again.
And the police?
I never found out what happened to her.
Powie mi pan coś więcej o zamieszkach luddystów?
Tell me more about the Luddites riots. I've tried before to find some information about this online, on GlobalNet. But you can...
Hardly find any information about it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Almost all reports of it have disappeared too.
The more exciting it is to meet someone who has a recollection of what really happened. So, what did exactly happen?
They were the biggest riots New York has ever seen. The Lower East Side was like a war zone for days. The NYPD was searching for the man behind the bombing campaign that had begun on the 20th anniversary of the Union.
Who was it?
A programmer called Jeffrey Stein.
A software programmer?
Yes. He had been working on the development of AI for years, and had come to the conclusion that he had to bomb the AI laboratories and automated communications facilities. He became the first machine basher of the new millennium to take up arms.
In short, he wanted to bomb us back into the Stone Age.
That's one point of view. On the Lower East Side, he had a lot of supporters.
But why did people support him?
The Lower East Side had 6 industrial zones that employed thousands of people. And when all the factories were switched over to robots and equipped with AI, almost everybody in the area was left unemployed.
That I didn't know.
Stein realized that. That's why the robotic units were the main targets of his bombing campaign. For the people on the Lower East Side, that made him a hero.
And the riots?
At some point, the NYPD found out that Stein was hiding out in the Lower East Side. Their plan to smash up the whole area was the cause of the riots.
What became of Stein?
It is said that he was shot during the riots. A man by the name of Emerson has supposedly taken over his role.
A co pan myśli o tych ostatnich zamachach bombowych?
And what do you think about the most recent bomb attack?
I think it's wrong.
I'm glad to hear that. I almost got the impression that you sympathize with...
Murderers?
Yeah. Murderers. Cowardly murderers at that.
I sympathize with freedom. But you don't achieve freedom by killing innocents.
Then you are in favor of the cryptography prohibition, I take it?
Absolutely not.
You will vote against it?
I won't have anything to do with it. I'm not going to use a messenger in the automated voting booths.
You're against it, but you won't vote against it? It's really hard for me to follow you there.
I'll wait, Peter. What is wrong will fail. You'll see.
I think this law will pass.
It won't.
Greenberg and Winter did come up with a good PR strategy for it.
It'll all come to nothing.
There is some... Can I ask?
Of course, just ask.
Can I ask?
Of course.
Szukam pewnego urządzenia.
I'm looking for a certain device. One with which I can play back old magnetic tape cassettes.
Oh, you mean a VCR?
Yeah, probably.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know. Not a single soul has a thing like that. Nobody seems to need something like that anymore. But I do need one.
That's not what I mean. I'm amazed because you're the second customer in 2 weeks who's wanted to buy such equipment. And you're also the second in the last 10 years.
Another customer? You wouldn't happen to still know his name?
No, he didn't tell me. But he didn't actually buy a VCR. He bought a video camera instead. And a tape.
That would be really more than a strange coincidence. Well then, do you still have a VCR then?
I think so. But I'm not totally sure where it is. You can see how things are here.
Yeah, of course. I'll go and look around right now. And if there is one here, I'll find it.
No dobra.
Can I ask?
Of course.
Chyba już wszystkie tematy wyczerpaliśmy.
I'm looking one with...
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
I know.
That's not. And you're all.
Another...
No, but he.
Well then.
I think you can.
Yeah. I have to... I'll see you later.
Okay.
Rozejrzyjmy się zatem, czy znajdziemy gdzieś tutaj kasetę, w sensie magnetowid.
Mr. Huntington.
Możemy wrócić do wcześniejszego tematu rozmowy.
I would like... I'll see you later.
Okay.
Nie chcę na razie z nim rozmawiać.
Hopefully the old guy knows what he's doing here. He has books here that are listed on the print crime index.
Mamy pełno książek. O, kolejna kaseta.
War of the Worlds by Orson Welles. Gonna get it. Mr. Huntington, I'm interested in this radio play. Unfortunately, I don't have any cash left. Only my messenger. I'll come back later and bring cash with me, okay?
Okay.
Czyli co, wzięliśmy to na kreskę. Ale takiego sprzętu też już dawno nie widziałem. Kaseta magnetofonowa, aczkolwiek mam pełno kaset magnetofonowych na strychu. I są to takie albumy jak Fenomen, chyba tam Gramatik był, DJ 600V, typowe takie rapowe kawałki. Wzgórze Japa 3.
A globe. Relic from a time when the world was still in order. On second thought, there's probably not much difference.
Trumpka. Nie widzę żadnych elementów interaktywnych.
Nothing there.
O, są gołębie pocztowe.
I don't believe it. He keeps pigeons in here. I should probably ask Mr. Huntington first.
Nie no, na co nam gołąb? I co, znaleźliście gdzieś tutaj magnetowid? Bo ja niczego takiego nie widziałem. Albo gdzieś mi umknęło. Jeszcze raz. Każdy element dokładnie sprawdzę. O. Tu jeszcze nie byliśmy. Jest telewizor, jest stary monitor.
I bet I can use this thing to watch Mr. Oswald's tape. Mr. Huntington, I would like to take this VCR with me. I'll pay for it as soon as I've had the chance to get some cash, okay?
Okay.
Wzięliśmy stary magnetowid. Ale zobaczcie, jakie radio stare, na kasety. A to jeszcze starsze. Jakie żelazko. Fajne miejsce, podoba mi się. Ja lubię takie stare antykwariaty. Dobra, wydaje mi się, że mamy wszystko. I myślę, że po raz kolejny powinniśmy udać się albo do Cyphera, albo udać się do naszego mieszkania, podłączyć magnetowid i zobaczyć, co kryje się na tamtej kasecie VHS. Ale moi drodzy, wykonamy sobie to w kolejnym odcinku. Mam nadzieję, że ten wam się podobał. Taki nostalgiczny, był naprawdę super. Dzięki wielkie, trzymajcie się. Hej!